It all started with a sound you're not supposed to hear, a faint nagging hiss from the valve box out in the yard, hours after the sprinklers had shut off. For weeks, I told myself it was nothing, just the house settling, or the wind. But then came the puddles. And I'm not talking about a few damp spots on the grass. These were stubborn, silvery pools that gathered in the low spots of the lawn and just refused to leave, even on hot, dry days. They'd shimmer under the porch light with this weird, oily sheen. I'd stand at the kitchen window, getting more and more annoyed, thinking about the wasted water and the muddy patches that were sure to come. A broken system. A problem I needed to fix. I had no idea the problem wasn't a broken pipe, but a break in reality itself. I didn't know my leaky sprinklers were a key, and my backyard was about to unlock a door I never knew was there. My evening routine became this little dance of quiet frustration. I'd check the controller, confirming everything was off. I'd walk the lawn, my flashlight beam catching that telltale gleam of water where it shouldn't be. One night, though, something was different. A full moon was hanging in the sky, just huge and bright, and its light hit the puddles in a way I'd never seen before. They weren't just reflecting the light, they seemed to be drinking it in. The biggest puddle, the one that always formed near the old oak tree, started to shimmer. Not with reflected light, but with a soft internal glow. It was pulsing, a gentle rhythm like a slow heartbeat. Then the other puddles around the yard answered, glowing faintly right along with it. I just stood there frozen on the back step, goosebumps popping up on my arms. This wasn't a trick of the light, this was something else. The mundane annoyance had completely given way to this deep, unnerving sense of wonder. The water wasn't just pooling anymore, it was waiting. Curiosity won out over fear. I stepped off the porch, my bare feet sinking into the cool, damp grass. I walked toward the main puddle, the one glowing the brightest. It was beautiful. The light inside it swirled in these impossible patterns of soft blues and silvers, like a tiny galaxy held in a few inches of water. It didn't look like a reflection of the sky. It looked like a window into a different one. I knelt down at its edge, my reflection staring back from the glowing surface. But behind my own face, I could see stars that weren't in my sky and a gentle landscape that definitely wasn't my yard. I reached out a shaky finger, bracing for the cold shock of water. Instead, when my fingertip broke the surface, there was only a soft, warm pressure. Ripples of pure light, not water, spread out from my touch. The surface felt like dense, cool air. It gave way when I pushed, holding its shape, but letting me press deeper. I yanked my hand back, my heart hammering against my ribs. It was a doorway. My leaky, broken sprinkler system hadn't made a mess. It had made a gateway. Taking a deep breath, I made a decision. I placed my hands on either side of the shimmering puddle, and with a sudden, strange sense of calm, I pushed myself through. There was no splash, no sound, just a brief, weightless feeling of passing through a cool curtain of mist. I found myself standing in my own backyard, but not. It was my yard, but it was somewhere else entirely. The air was perfectly still, filled with the scent of damp earth and night-blooming flowers I'd never planted. The grass under my feet was soft and springy, and every single blade was tipped with a tiny point of glowing light. The old oak tree was there, but its leaves were dripping slow, silent drops of silver light onto the ground. And I wasn't alone. From the shadows, these shy figures started to emerge. They were shaped kind of like people, but they were made of swirling, glowing water. They moved without a sound, their gentle light pulsing in time with the silent world around them. One of them, a bit smaller than the others, drifted closer. It paused, tilted its featureless head, and copied me when I gave a slow wave. There was no fear here, just a deep, unbreakable peace. This wasn't a haunted place. It was a hidden one, a secret garden born from a simple leak. I have no idea how long I stayed in there. Time just seemed to work differently. When I finally stepped back through the portal, I was standing in my familiar yard again. The puddles were just water, dark and still under the moon. But as I looked down at my hand, I saw it. A faint, silvery light pulsed just under my skin for a moment before slowly fading away. It was real. Now I don't see the puddles as a problem anymore. That hissing from the valve box is a quiet promise. I don't have a leaky sprinkler system. I have a secret that sleeps during the day, just waiting for the moon to rise. My broken, ordinary world has this hidden, magical layer, and I'm the only one who knows it's there. And every night, I can't wait to see what's waiting for me on the other side. Like and subscribe for more great stories like this.